Hi, this is Jed with ForexStrategySecrets.com. Another video in the Forex Profit Classroom. Very excited to talk about this topic because it's about timing your entries, timing your exits, using all the stops, making sure you understand exactly what you're looking for, how you need to read the charts. And to demonstrate this, I was trading in the 15, 5, and 1 minute. I took this particular entry right here the beginning of my trading day in the Gladiator trading room, open of the US session this morning. I actually took this out of the 15 minute. We got this entry here, this entry here. You can see it was a little late, but this was my excitement right here, was that point. Decided to jump in. Well, immediately upon jumping in, you can see that it went against me. Well, I had my stop out at 63 pips, and it went against me 43 pips. And what I was looking for at that point was, okay, I'm either going to lose on this particular position, or I can time this and see if I can't get a reversal on it. So I immediately dropped down to the 1 minute time frame. Now you can see this went against me quite a ways. In all honesty, there were plenty of exit signals here, but because I was utilizing the higher time frames, higher than the 1 minute, and I had my fresh strong signal on that 15-minute chart, I wasn't willing to just let it go at that. I was going to ride it out and give it some time. I started seeing some slowing here, and it rested for a while and shot up again and started slowing again. At that point I felt like I had still a pretty good shot at this game, so I stayed in. Okay, again, using all the time frames involved, the 15-minute down to the 1 minute. Now I got an entry, a re-entry on the 1 minute chart. And so I went ahead and took it. And I loaded this one up quite a bit, so I wanted to try to make up for some of the loss if I did sustain a loss in this particular entry. But you can see here I made some marks each time there was a change in the market that was exciting to me. And I also made some marks here to remind me that I was dealing with off points, and I got a fresh cross here, and there was a color change here, and the price bars were changing here and here, so I was excited about that, so re-entering here was well worth my time. Because of the spread, it took me out up here versus right here where I saw the signal. And remember, the spreads are going to be appear a little bit wider on the screen in a 1 minute chart, and so that's why it ends up here. I ended up taking 2.8 pips profit, so roughly 3 pips profit here, and then got another entry here and decided to jump back in. Well, I ended up taking a small loss simply because I got sidetracked here when I should have seen my exit down here, and I would have actually made 8 pips profit on this particular move out of the 12 pips that it went. Ended up losing 1.9. So not worried, still in the game, this position's still on, and I was still going off the larger time frames, but just to show you how you can play those markets while it's happening. That was overplaying it, to be honest with you, and my goal would be to use this as an example to teach you that you don't have to overplay it like that. I should have just waited on all 3 of these positions and closed them at this point here. But it was fun doing it. I enjoyed actually testing the market. Well, I went ahead and was doing some other trading, looked at some other things, and then happened to notice down at my terminal and saw that I had some profit here. So I jumped down to take a look at things, and it was right about in this range when I noticed it. And I thought, well, okay, I'm going to watch this, and it shot back down again. And then I started getting the signals that it might be crossing again. I thought, well, I'll take it. And so I closed the position, and then started watching for a strong re-entry again on this same currency pair. Wasn't doing a lot of heavy trading outside of the Euro New Zealand for the rest of this trading period. And I did get another signal, loaded up real nice and heavy with this one. Now this one you don't see it here, but I got it in the 5 minute. You can see right here at the point that it was going, at the time that it was live and active, this was a nice 5 alarm. It now has changed in color, so there's no way to show that that was the case. It had gone sideways on me in the lower time frame, but I stayed in, considering the fact that I was still well in this trend and things were going nicely. And so I knew that I would be coming shortly to an end, and so I started looking for my exit strategy at this point. So back down to the 1 minute time frame, I got my exit point right here. Okay, several of them hitting at the same time. I closed it, for a total of 15 pips. So my initial long trade was 17, another 15, plus the 2, and then, plus the 2 up here, and the 3, and the 2 here, -2. So I ended up with 3 wins and 1 loss for a net profit of 33 pips. A very successful trading day in the 1 minute time frame, utilizing the 15 and 5 minute as well as my trends to be following. And granted, up here you also need to keep in mind I was also watching the day in the 4 hour and the 1 hour trend to just make sure that nothing changed there, and so I could trade the waves and the ups and downs in the 4, 5, 15 and 1 minute time frames based on the fact that I knew I was in a downtrend and it was strong at that point. So that is how you utilize all the time frames in timing your exits and entries. Try to time your entries and exits based on multiple criteria, and that includes using multiple time frames. So I hope this was helpful for many of you. Give it a shot. If you're concerned about wanting to make sure you get the entry and exit strategy figured out and understand how to time those things, look at the larger time frames, set up your trend, say I'm going to go in the direction of the 4 hour today, and I'll trade in the lower time frames and play this out, in and out, in and out, and see if you can't get a better grasp on it. This is Jed with Forex Strategy Secrets, signing off.